Now, having your own little mental checklist before you actually click the buy button on any stock can be a great tool just to make sure you mean it before you click it. And I got a question the other day from Doominjun in Korean, something like that. Thanks so much for the question. A brilliant question. Now, this video will be as boring as dull as they come, maybe, and I know many people might not want to watch it, but these are just a few points that I go over in my head before I buy any stock. It's a great question, actually. So number one, would I rather buy more of stocks I already own? Now, as many points on this list, it goes without saying, but it personally helps me avoid a bloated portfolio and sort of do diversification for diversification's sake, something I'm not a fan of. There needs to be a long list of great reasons for investing in a new company. If you'd rather buy something old, you're probably buying for the wrong reasons, so i.e. you don't actually believe in the business. And again, there needs to be a reason, just like if you want to buy a new car or a new pair of shoes or clothes, you need to have discipline, or else you're going to end up with a portfolio without reason, without purpose, and without direction. So a new investment shouldn't only excite me, it should actually make me forget about my old companies and maybe even make me want to sell some of the old ones to buy even more of this new thing. So if you're not super excited, I wouldn't invest. Number two, does it offer enough upside potential and risk? I'm not looking for 10%, and never have I seen such low returns from my investments. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can you just choose to make more than 10%? I'm really not. I'm just looking for stocks with the potential to do a lot more. While I accept the downside potential, I've seen stocks go down 50%. I've held Bitcoin down 87%, so I'm fine taking the hit as long as the upside potential is there. And I'm looking for stocks that can give me hundreds and hundreds of percent return in just a few years. I'm also young, which means I have no impending retirement to think of, no family obligations, no big mortgage, and so I have time to take risks and to see if my ideas and my investment philosophy actually comes to fruition. Number three, am I willing to hold for the long term? I still hold my first investment. So the first stocks I bought was Activision Blizzard and Amazon back in 2013. And the companies haven't given me any reason to sell, so I'm holding. Now, many stocks have come and gone from my portfolio, but the idea when I go into stock is to hold it for the long term. And an example of how this can pay off is, imagine how many invested got burned and sold their Tesla shares in the few years before the company actually took off. So like in 2019, they didn't have the patience to see the shift from internal combustion engine cars over to electric cars come to fruition. So they jumped ship and they've paid dearly. So, and when I invest in big trends and shifts that might not happen overnight. So I need to spend time to see them come true. Buying great companies and holding for the long term, I think, is the only way to invest. And it's been proven through all of history, and all statistics point that a buy and hold strategy where you're willing to just be patient and see your strategy through is the way to go. Now to question of the day, and it comes from, I think it's our friend Doomin Jun from South Korea, once again, maybe North Korea, what do I know? And he gives me a lot of comments, great questions, and I get this question on every video, so I just want to address it now. Now, I'll read it straight off here. So if I recall correctly, you prefer lump sum investing over dollar cost average. So lump sum is investing everything immediately. Dollar cost average is to slowly buy over time. But you still continue to buy whenever you free up cash. However, last time I remember asking you if you still are buying MongoDB, and you said no because of its recent run. Or so when do you stop buying a stock? Would you say some of your buys are based on emotions or recent activity or perhaps even valuations? Look everyone, I'm pretty much 100% invested. As soon as I get cash, I put it to work. Which company I buy just depends on how I feel on that day. I believe in all of my 8 companies, so it doesn't really matter which one I buy, but I base it based on emotions, and I usually buy the ones that haven't been doing so well recently. So I wouldn't buy more of Tesla or MongoDB or the Trade Desk today. I would probably buy Nextera Energy, Microsoft or Amazon instead. So no, I don't do dollar cost average. Dollar cost average is sitting on cash and then slowly buying as you see fit. I take the cash as soon as I get it from outside the stock market and just put it to work, which is basically lump sum investing. So I hope that answers your questions, and all questions like this, I don't want any more of them. I'm just kidding. Number 4, is my gut feeling telling me yes? Now, I don't look into coffee cups or read the stars, but the most important thing I have in investing and in life is my gut feeling. And every single one of my great investing decisions has been made on a whim, on a gut feeling. I mean, I still remember scooping up loads more Amazon shares because of this picture of Jeff Bezos, where I just thought that he looked ready to kick some serious. I remember buying Tesla stock just because I was looking at a Tesla. I bought MongoDB just of a tip from a friend. I bought it the same day he does, just as because I don't know, I just thought he knew what he was talking about. I just had a good gut feeling. And I bought the Trade Desk because the CEO spoke so eloquently in an interview I watched, and I just had to buy the stock. So most of my best decisions have been made over day. And as anecdotal as this might be, I think gut feeling is actually a carefully calculated, measured emotion that you get, that we call it gut feeling, but I think it's a collection of all the information you've taken in, and then it's translated into feeling, and you should follow that feeling. Because if you think something is off, there's probably some piece of information you have gathered that's telling you that something's off. Same with a good gut feeling. So yeah, as big of a cliche as this is, I think this might be the most important point, at least when it comes to really good decisions. That's where my gut feeling has made me the most money. Number 5, am I willing to go in hard? Now, if you swing on a battlefield, swing to kill. Same goes for the stock market. This is just a final little checkpoint. If I don't feel comfortable allocating a decent amount of my portfolio, so at least 5 or 6% immediately into a new company, I'm not buying. Because again, something's probably off. If you're not willing to commit, it's not the company for you. Maybe it's too risky. Maybe you feel like you don't have a good enough foundation of information to go through with it. And just go hard from the start. I've been burned so many times with just dipping my feet in Amazon, in MongoDB, in Bitcoin, and then realizing later that if I was investing, I should have invested a proper amount of money, not this dipping your toes in the water, which I think is a joke. So I've lost a lot of money on either investing with a little bit instead of a lot, or not being comfortable with an investment and therefore just investing a small amount and then ending up selling it and buying my old stocks. So go hard or go home. Probably not the advice. It's probably not prudent portfolio management, but if you're not willing to allocate 5 or 10%, you shouldn't buy. So there's my checklist. This was a fantastic question. I know I didn't mention NEO or any EV SPAC or ARK Invest or the election or Biden trades, but this was a very important question. Maybe the most important video I've ever made. I hope at least someone watches it, although it It's just my opinion, but this checklist is, you know, what makes me invest or not. So thanks for watching. Hope I'll see you in my next one. It's coming on Friday as always, and yeah, no, Monday actually. See you then. Take care.